Good afternoon everyone, Behzad is here from Code Simplifier Coding School. Welcome back to another video of our SQL series. Last week we covered inner joins and how to read them. Today we will have another example which involves inner joins, so we will have a chance to cover the topic again. We have an inquiry to check who enrolled in blockchain basics, their full name, their grades, and their results. In addition, we want the result to be sorted from highest to lowest. Our job is to write the script and return the information requested. So, before writing any script, let's break down the information to smallest pieces which we can categorize. We want the student full name, which we can find this information in the student table. Their grades and results, which will be in a student in subject table. And lastly, we want the subject name, which is in subject table. This is how we want to write down our script. First, we are starting off with select. Then give your space, open a parenthesis. We want the first name, comma, and last name. Close the parenthesis and semicolon. Now we have to polish these two codes. First of all, where do we want to get our first name? We want to have it from a student table. So you write down the table dot. You copy the same code and put it behind your last name. Now these two are together. Because we want to return a full name, so we have to connect these two information together. So that's why we just give another gap. And these two are going to be as full name. And at the beginning, concat. Concat, it will stick these two information, first name and last name together, and returns as a full name. Below our full name, from our subject table, we want to get the subject name. So we want to write down subject. This is the table, and we want to get the subject name from that table. Below that, we have from our student in subject table dot. What information do we want? We want the result, student result. And same thing. Sorry, I missed a comma here. And I want another comma. So you just copy the student in subject, paste it here, and we will have a student grade. So we got subject name from our subject table, student result and grade from our student in subject table. At this point, we retrieved what we needed. And from here onward, we want to connect them together. So this is how we're doing it. So we want to check from our student table, inner join, which it will be something in common with the student in table, student in subject table, and check these two tables if they have something in common. And in our case, a student ID is common between these two tables. So we write down a student dot student ID equals to student in subject. So basically we want to check these two tables, the student ID between those two tables are identical, same as together. So we're giving some gap here that won't confuse us. Now we have another inner join. Write down inner join. And here we want to check subject table. And from our subject table, we want to check the subject name in our subject table. It is equal to subject name in a student in subject table. So we write it down as so we were able to these three tables together based on what they have in common. And next step, it will be to set up the condition, what we want to retrieve. Last part, we want to write down the condition, which we write down where is where the condition comes in. We want to check the subject table and access to subject name. And whenever the subject name from our subject table equals to blockchain basics. We want to get all of the students' information enrolled in these units, and we want to sort the results from the highest to lowest, and that means it will be result, student result, DESC. So order by does the filtering for us. That means we want to filter the student result from the highest to lowest, use the order by. And now once everything is ready, we want to run our code to see our result. And if you just retrieve, and here we don't have any value, I guess we have some bug in our code. Yes, I found the bug, and we have to just separate the blockchain letter together. Save your work, run your code one more time, and here we go. So we have our students, the subject name, their result, and their grades. As you see, we retrieved the information successfully, which meets the requirement. So I will go through the script one more time to explain what we have done. First, we use concat to stick the first name and last name together. Then return the value from these two and store it as a full name. Then we use table names to get information from, such as the subject name, student result, and the student grades. Then we check for some common sections between these three tables. So between the student, student in subject, and subject, we looked for common information, which in our first case, the student ID was common. In our second part, the subject name was common between those three tables. And the last part, we set up the condition, which we wanted to check for the subject name in our subject table based on the name we write down here. And you have to be careful whenever you search, you must make sure the name in here, it is exactly the same as what you write down at the beginning of the course. Because as you saw before, when I ran the code, there was no value because there was a grammar issue with these codes. And the last one was the order by, which it does a filtering for us, and DSC, which does the filtering for us from the highest result to the lowest results. And that will cover our today's video. I hope you had fun with it and learned how to use inner joins more clearly. If you are not sure about any section of this tutorial, please write down your question in the comment section below and I will respond to it. In the end, if this video was helpful, please make sure you subscribe to our channel, as that is a way to support and help us to create more content. Thanks for your time for watching, and I will see you all next week.